Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rise. We're back here at one of my favorite filming spot locations because guess what? We have that car, that performance car that still has a ton of people talking. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2026 Dodge Charger RT 4-door. But before we get into all-wheel drive or wheel-roll drive mid-size sedan performance, let's talk about what's going on here. So the Charger RT is going to be that gateway into the new Charger lineup. The RT has the standard output Hurricane power plant underneath the hood, but you're still going to get, like I mentioned, either all-wheel drive if you want the all-wheel drive on, or you could go straight up muscle car fun, rear-wheel drive action. Now, obviously, there's still been a lot of talk about the Charger and how it compares to other performance cars at its price point, but this one, the RT, is all about affordability and value. So what I want to find out is it worth it going with a Charger RT? Did Dodge cut a bunch of corners on it to make it more price friendly? Why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm ready, let's dive into this red-eye exterior colored RT and find out. Right off the bat, love the color. And Dodge has a whole palette, just like Picasso or Salvador Dali. There's not a bad color for the Charger, and the names of those colors are fantastic. Now, the front of the business, I love the fact that they kept the design that they started with when they brought this new generation out. So you're gonna have your LED daytime running lamp, which is called that racetrack daytime running lamp because it goes all the way across the front end. LED headlights, LED turn signals, a little bit of gloss black, that beautiful ruby red eye color, and then working our way down, I'm gonna have to issue a half a zonk. This corner vent is not functional, but the good news is the one on the passenger side is. I think one of the things I was hoping for was a little bit more of a different look than what was available and what is available on the Charger Daytona. One thing being the front splitter. I wish this splitter was a little bit more aggressive on the RT or even the Scat Pack. It's all the same splitter, and it's gloss black, which is different from the previous generation, which used to be flat black. But as we come across that menacing grille style, you're gonna notice that you have the Fratzog badge. This illuminates at night right in the center. You do have an optional forward-facing camera, functional mail slot grille openings up top, and then you have more functionality as you continue your way down. A little bit of flat black, and then the lower grille is gonna be all flat black, but the great news is all functional, including these inward corner air intakes, and then here is our side one that is functional, unlike the driver's side. Passenger side is functional. That's why I'm only giving it a half a zonk. But let me know what you think about the face of this new generation. It's crazy because this is actually 3 inches wider than the wide body Charger from the previous generation. So crazy having that menacing width. Now, as we rise up, you're gonna get the bulge, so you can put away your balled up socks or whatever else you're putting down in your pants. Because this is powered by the Hurricane, the 6-pack, you do get the 6-pack name in the heat extractor. It is functional, even on the RT, so I'm very happy to see that. And I've always liked hoods on Dodge Chargers or Challengers when they used to have the Challenger, because the form and the function just come together perfectly like a big old peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's going to be interesting to see moving forward what they bring out. I think one of the things that maybe will disappoint some of you is that the hood is exactly the same on the standard output RT compared to the higher output Scat Pack. Should they have come up with a different hood? Let me know down in that comment section. Now, as we swing around wide, what do we got going on? You do have the optional
wheels. So this is a 20-inch wheel. Love that large Y-spoke design, gunmetal metallic gray finish. And we have also the optional 6-piston Brembo calipers, powder coated that light gray finish with the Brembo name on it. Of course, you get all-wheel drive standard. You could push up, or I should say tap, a part of the screen, the infotainment system screen. I'll show you how to do it. And then you could send power just to the rear. But very, very good looking wheel. I think they got the wheel on the optional wheel. It really just looks perfect. Tires are going to be 275 on the width, 40 series sidewall, all 4 corners. As we come down the side, you got that classic road track badge, the RT, in a sort of like flat dark gray. Gloss black on your mirror caps. You do have 360-degree cameras. That's an option on this particular one. We also have the optional glass roof. I could do without that. All that brings is more weight, unfortunately. Now, from the side of the vehicle, you notice we got the 2 extra doors. And remember, now they're making everybody happy. Last generation, they made so many people pissed off when they came out with a Charger 4-door, because no time in history had there ever been a 4-door Charger. People obviously eventually accepted it, but then they went 2-door on this new Charger and everybody was back being pissed off. So now you can have it your way. It's a $2,000 option, which obviously this one has, over your standard 2-door. Let's see how they did it. Well, first of all, you don't have any exposed door handles that you pull out. You actually just push the button inside here and it pops open. There is some gloss black along the lower sill area, like the way it flares out into the passenger door. My big zonk is that because of the door and because of where the glass ends, this is gloss black. Don't like it. It's gonna look like garbage after a few years of washing the vehicle, because you're gonna get a ton of swirl marks. But remember, the reason why that's like that, they didn't bring the glass all the way back, was because this is exactly the same dimension as the 2-door. So you're not actually getting a smaller Charger or a larger Charger. It's actually the same size. And then there's that door opening in the rear. You can see how we now have a rear opening door. The other problem I have is that with the optional brakes, even on the Scat Pack, you don't get Brembos on the rear anymore. You get standard floating calipers. That's a big no-no. That's a big no-no. But I do like the slotted rotors. You got a mechanical limited slip diff out back, especially for when you want to go old school rear wheel drive. And then spinning around the back, this part here just screams old school Charger to me. Spinning around the back, love that nice flared fender into our quarter panel. Remember, you don't actually have a trunk. You have a lift back, a sport back. So you got the glass roof, comes into the rear glass, super smooth, and then you got our large gloss black kick-up spoiler. It is a functional piece, just like the Scat Pack. You got your racetrack LED lighting at the back. All this illuminates, it's all LED. Right there is where they hide the button to pop the rear. And you got the Fratzog badge. And then obviously, if you don't see the exhaust, the way you know that this is not electric is not, I'm saying it is not electric. This is not electric, is that it's got the name Charger embossed here. If this was a Charger EV, it would say Daytona. And then obviously you wouldn't have those guys. Nice, large, oval opening, slash cut, active exhaust. And it is your choice whether you want to have gloss black tips or stainless steel tips. Up to you. But why don't we go ahead, let's go pop the hood and find out what the heck does standard output mean over the high output. All right, guys, we got the hood up. You do have hood struts. Underneath the hood, you're going to notice it has that big, beefy freaking strut tower brace. It's like tubular steel stiffening up the front end of the vehicle. Standard output just gets a regular black engine cover and it just says 6-pack. And there are no adaptive dampers. You're just getting standard suspension setup. You can see there's no wires or anything going to that shock absorber there, that damper. But what do you get? You're still getting a 3-liter straight 6. I'm gonna say this again. It's a straight 6, everybody. It's not a V6. Please don't call it a V6, especially in the comments. It's a straight 6, inline 6, twin turbocharged engine. Standard output on this RT is 420 horsepower, 468 pound-feet of torque. Now, if you go high output with the Scat Pack, you're gonna get 550 horsepower. So that's the big difference horsepower-wise between standard output and high output. Everything is mated to that ZF Torque Flight 8-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 in the Scat Pack is 4.5 seconds. Quarter mile is in 12.9 seconds. And the top speed is 127 miles an hour. MPG's 18 in the city, 25 on the highway. And yes, the car is heavy. It weighs in at 4,800 pounds. A little bit lighter than the high output, but not much. And I think that's the biggest deficit to this new Charger. I know everybody's complaining about no V8. I'd rather have a chassis that weighs about 700 pounds less. Then maybe we could have a little bit of a conversation about no V8. But why don't we go ahead? We got the standard output. Let's hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2026 Dodge Charger RT. So when I say RT or somebody says RT to you, that means standard output. Now, I know we've been kind of stressing affordability and is it worth it? I'm sure you're at that point. Well, Joe, I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on one of these. Not sure if I want 2-door and 4-door, but I'm very close to pulling the trigger. How much is it? So base price for a Charger RT 4-door is $51,995. That's with 420 horsepower. This particular one does have the customer preferred package, the 21A, which brings a lot of goodies, a lot. The Brembo brakes, the 20-inch wheels. It also has the optional glass roof, which that by itself is $1,500. So if you really don't need it, save yourself the money. And I'll point out another reason why besides the $1,500. So this particular one has an MSRP of $65,000. Now, you might say, well, Joe, I thought this was supposed to be affordable. When you look at the different pieces of technology that this car has now, and you look at amenities like heated and ventilated seats, plus the glass roof, that's where that price tag goes up. And when you compare it to other mid-size sedans that are performance-oriented, there's not a lot of competition. But let's see what Dodge did for this RT. To the door panels, I do like the nice soft touch material, the red contrast stitching, and a very sort of like Art Deco style to the way that they did that door panel. It really shows an attention to detail. You have your attitude adjustment ambient lighting that illuminates that Art Deco display, no gloss black, and then you're gonna get actually 2 colors of stitching on the side of the soft armrest, the white with the red. Door pocket is a great size. 2 Whopper briskets in there and a large Pepsi to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, love the way it's got the Charger name nicely displayed. It's got the ambient attitude adjustment lighting. It's red. It's kind of hard to see because it's daytime, obviously. We got red stitching, soft touch, red white stitching, some more red stitching, and then on the side, red and white stitching. Now the reason why I'm pointing all this out is because this shows the attention to detail and kind of shows you what you're getting for the money. And you'll get that stitching whether you spend the $51,009 or the $65. The stitching is how it comes. Now slide on in. You are getting a 12.3 inch infotainment system. This is larger than the standard RT screen. I don't mind how it's displayed. I like it much better than the Mustang, but I don't love it. I like it, I don't love it. Now, the reason why I have the modes, the drive modes displayed for you is to show you what the modes are. You could hit the screen, go into your different modes, or you could use the steering wheel. I'll show you that when you come to my side. But this is the other important part. Hit that, and now you're driving just like a classic muscle car should, rear wheel drive. You can't do it while you're rolling. You must be at a stop. And now we have all-wheel drive again. I could go into my apps. There's your performance pages. Much faster reacting than the previous generation, I'll tell you that. Love all the gauges. You actually have 2 pages of gauges. Even wheel slip, which is kind of cool. And then you do have your G meter. Got to find the G spot, your timers, even the propulsion. I mean, they have it all set up exactly the way you want it. Navigation, and then your comfort controls. So you could bring up all the AC, the ventilated seats, the heated steering wheel, your dual climate. What's nice is you could do the haptic kickback, or you could touch the screen, whatever you choose. You have to touch this portion of the display to do your ventilated seats and heated seats if you don't want to touch the screen. So it's kind of weird. You're still touching a screen basically, but it's on the outer edge, which is just gloss black, but you're still going to get fingerprints. Volume knob, a tuner knob. You can turn the display off, which is nice when you're going to the drag strip. Down below, nice size AC vents, wireless charging with a cooling fan. This is where you're going to put your track day Twinkies for the competition. 2 USB-Cs. Pistol grip shifter makes a return. So you're just going to pull on the trigger and then put it into which way you're going. We're not going anywhere right now. That's why we're in park. There is no manual transmission option, which is a zonk. But you get the nice red stitching. You got your start-stop button. Those cup holders like I explained. Soft touch, open it up, it only opens up my way. You do have a 12 volt in there, and you have enough room. I would say you could probably put maybe 6 Hostess cupcakes. So if you go up to, if somebody comes up to you and they're like, oh, your Charger is you're not part of the brotherhood because it doesn't have a V8, give them a cupcake and shut them up. Just stick it right in their mouth. Tell them to leave you alone. It's nice to have different options for different people. The V8 is coming. So can we get over it already, please? It's kind of like wasted energy. Seats. Love the soft touch, the stitching, the Alcantara. 12-way adjustable. So this has the optional 12-way adjustable seats. Your Mustang ain't gonna do that ever. I don't care how much money you throw at it. From the factory at least. I have 12-way adjustable over here. And then like I said, I don't like it, but you do get a glass roof. The other reason why I don't like it, no shade. What are people thinking, man? I live in Florida. It's already 90 degrees. It's cooking me. If the car was off, I'd be cooked like a Thanksgiving Day turkey. But why don't you get your jerky turkey over here? Because I want to show you behind the wheel of this new Charger. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. The nice thing, too, is whether you go 2-door or 4-door, the doors open up nice and wide. Now, on the driver's side door, you do have 2 memory seat settings. Remember, 12-way adjustable. Pedal box, looking almost perfect. Aluminum brake pedal, aluminum throttle, but a plastic dead pedal. It's a better dead pedal than the previous generation, but it's still plastic. Come on. You do get Dodge all-weather floor mats. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower. Seat controls, easy to get to. Love the way you got the hammy extension. And then I'm 6 feet tall. Plenty of room in here. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Joe, the car's so heavy. When has a Charger or Challenger been light? In the 80s, when they were
small little compact cars with 4-cylinder engines. I mean, that would be the only time that I can remember. So with it being heavy, yeah, it sucks, but they're always heavy. I just wish they weren't as heavy, just like you do. I know you're just exaggerating. Steering wheel, they did a great job on the wheel, man. Flat top, flat bottom. I love the flat black on all the switch gear. You got the Dodge name on the horn button. Love the way you got your drive mode access right here. You don't have to hit the stupid screen. And then on the side, you do have the optional power tilting and telescoping wheel, paddles to go through the Torque Flight 8-speed. I just wish they were larger. They need to be larger, so that's a zonk. But what is large and in charge is a 16-inch digital gauge cluster. The only problem I have with it is that it's just placed there. There's nothing kind of covering it. So it does have a lot of sunshine on it. I could actually go through a ton of info, which is really good. And then what's kind of nice is when you go into the different modes here, so when I go sport, watch, it's gonna change. Boop. And then you could scroll through different information like the boost gauge, oil life, oil level, oil pressure, all that good stuff. That's very crucial, especially if you are at the drag strip. And then you could keep going through the different modes. I could go into wet snow, see how it changes back, or we could just do full custom and you could set it up your way, which is kind of nice. So nice to have that, and you get the optional head-up display. So this one's got a lot of options when you get that customer preferred package. But let's get into the back seat, rear door style, because we got 4 doors for more friends in this vehicle. All right, guys, back seat time. The wonderful thing is having the extra set of doors obviously makes it much easier to get in and out of the vehicle. But the fascinating thing is that the amount of passenger space is the same whether you get the coupe or the 4-door, which is kind of cool. Now the backs of the seats, very sporty looking. You have these large solid pockets. You can literally put, I would say, 3 New York bagels back here. They gotta be New York with that amazing cream cheese. Nice big old schmear of cream cheese. Here's a funny fact. Philadelphia cream cheese is not produced in Philadelphia. You've been living a lie your whole life. Back command center here, we got 3 stages of heated seats. Just tap the button. 2 USB-Cs, AC vents, which are a blessing. Sitting here, I got my stitching, I got soft touch, the attitude adjustment lighting. Plenty of headroom, even with the glass roof. And that is the one nice thing, is that when you're sitting back here with the glass roof, it does feel more open and airy. I still wouldn't option it in my Charger. I just wouldn't. Pull this down, nice high armrest, super soft with 2 cup holders, and everybody gets the same great red stitching and Alcantara on the seats, which is nice. But why don't we go ahead, let's get back to that sport back, lift back design of this Charger and see how much room there is. All right, guys, what's great is no matter if you go RT or Scat Pack, you're still getting a ton of room. This is so impressive. This is probably one of the most impressive things about the new Charger is you have a lot of cargo space. How much do you have? With the rear seats up, you are looking at 23 cubic feet of space. Fold the rear seats down, it almost goes up to 40 cubic feet of space. Do you get a spare? No. You get a can of flat fix and an electric air compressor. That's it. But why don't we go ahead, let's close this up. The button's down here. That's where the button is. Drops on down, nice power assist. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in this standard output Charger RT and see if it's worth the price. All right, guys, we're behind the wheel of this 2026 Dodge Charger RT with the standard output Hurricane engine. The great news is that with the customer preferred package that this one has, it is very similar interior wise to the Scat Pack. So you're getting the larger infotainment system, the 16-inch digital gauge cluster. Love the layout of the interior. That's one thing you cannot fault this Dodge Charger is about. They did a great interior in this thing, especially when you look at the previous generation. Now, is it perfect? No, but it's pretty darn good. Now, one thing you're gonna notice is they do pump in some sound through the speakers to kind of make the twin turbo straight six sound a little beefier. It's nothing too obnoxious, but just know that it's not 100% real sound that you're hearing from the exhaust. I want to go on throttle with you. I do have it in rear wheel drive, and it's so nice to be able to go all wheel drive, rear wheel drive. The one thing is, like I've mentioned before, you got to be at a complete stop to put it in rear wheel drive. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's smoke them because we got them. Here we go. There we go. Here we go. So you're still going to be able to have your muscle car fun in this vehicle. It's just one of those cars that, you know, a Dodge Charger just really has that big standout when it comes to fun. You know, when having a fun experience behind the wheel, it just makes it so much more worth it. And that's the thing is that, yes, this particular one has quite a few options. But if you go with your standard base Charger RT at 51.9, there's not a lot of other vehicles out there. There's just not. So it's great to be able to find something that I think will be a little bit more palatable price-wise for a brand new vehicle. I mean, even at the $65,000, having the all-wheel drive, having all the tech, the head-up display, heated seats, ventilated seats, all those goodies, I mean, it could be very pricey in other vehicles. But let's go on throttle. You ready? On throttle, here we go! Drops down and we're off. Nice shift from the torque flight. And that was rear wheel drive. I'm gonna go ahead, when we stop at the stop sign here, I'm going to put it into all wheel drive and see how she handles. So you just tap the screen and immediately puts it right back into all wheel drive. It's that simple. On throttle, here we go. Drops down and we're off. You got a nice tachometer in the head-up display. On the brakes, remember we have the Brembos up front. Here we go. Fully hooked up. You are gonna feel the weight of this vehicle. I mean, weighing in at almost 5,000 pounds is quite ridiculous for this vehicle. But it does have that muscle car feel to it because of the weight and because of the power. But just a nice, versatile, much more versatile than the previous generation. So that's another good thing, is that with that sportback design, it has such great volume back there for your cargo, and then having your choice of 2 doors or 4 doors really opens up the whole spectrum. But the seats feel good. They actually have a little bit more bolstering, just a little bit, than the previous generation. They're more supportive, that's for sure. I just wish there was a hood over the digital gauge cluster. It's like the interior is hands down way better than the previous generation, but it's not perfect. And that's one of those areas where it's not perfect. But the steering wheel itself, the thickness, the location of the paddles, they just need to be a little bit larger. On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. So it's not a corner carver by any means, but you could have fun with it. You really can. And yes, you can do your burnouts in it. You could do your donuts, whatever it is that fulfills you at the end of the day when you're behind your performance vehicle, whether it be this 4-door version or the 2-door. All right, guys.
Always a good day when we could get behind the wheel of any kind of performance vehicle, especially this new value-priced Charger RT with the six-pack. Got to thank everybody at Dodge for allowing us access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. For the moolah, for the dinero, is this worth it at the end of the day when it comes to the performance, when it comes to the technology, when it comes to the style, and when it comes to the way that it makes you feel when you're walking up to it in a parking lot or in your garage? Let me know down in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Razor Lights family. I know Latte Lori actually prefers the 4-door over the 2-door with this car. The reason why is that she could get more dogs in that back seat and get them out and in a lot easier than the coupe. So she's all about whatever dog is friendly, or dog friendly, I should say. But she also likes friendly dogs. But thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.